All right, first and foremost, of course, got to give all praises, honor, and glory unto the Most High God, Yahweh. I do so in the name of His only begotten Son, who the world calls Christ Yahweh Shai. It's your brother Chief Priest Allah's Alban Lawyer, aka the Guerrilla Hebrew, coming at y'all with another edition and installment of the ISSA GRLA podcast. Man, a lot going on, man. Just want to touch bases. I want to say I might have been 2 weeks out. And I'm a little late because this is when I'm recording this. Let me check the day. Saturday, what is this? November the 2nd? Saturday, November the 2nd. There'll be a new edition of Power On at midnight Eastern, 9 Pacific tonight. So I hope y'all listen to this before then. Actually, it really doesn't matter. Whatever. Who cares? First thing I want to talk about, something I was very vocal about on Facebook. I've called and talked to almost every single person I've known who's an avid power consumer. Tasha St. Patrick / Green - Green or Green, whichever you want to call her, killed Terry Silver. I repeat, Tasha St. Patrick killed Terry Silver. You know, some people who have been under school of thought, who have had the nerve and the unmitigated gall to challenge me on that very clear and concise fact. Oh, she loved Terry Silver. How stupid could some of y'all honestly be? Let's deal with reality here, okay? I'm going to break down reality to y'all. Reality is when you're a female who messes with a nigga, a man, in particular a black man on the caliber of Ghost, who get down like Ghost, who carry himself like Ghost, who's a boss at the level of Ghost is, you'll never be in love with another nigga again. You could be in a relationship with somebody else. You could even love that person. But what you can't be is in love with anybody, because you're going to be in love with that nigga for the rest of your whole goddamn life. Everything that nigga do is going to get on your goddamn nerves. You're going to be at least a little bit jealous when you see him with another girl for the rest of your goddamn life. How do I know? Because I could list a laundry list of real life experiences that I have with such things. Things that I've experienced personally, things that I've seen brothers and sisters go through. Sisters, the women is not just falling in love with everybody. They'll love and they'll have passion. They can be with another nigga. But that dude, Ghost, will forever have her heart. And that's why she'll forever be so bitter. That's where that bitterness comes from. If you aren't still in love with that person, usually, now there could be other factors that do prolong bitterness, but usually that's where the bitterness comes from. If y'all are not paying attention, every relationship outside of Ghost that Tasha has been involved with has only been a means to an end. Ghost is detaching himself. Ghost is finding love elsewhere. She's looking for a way out because of her hyper dependency upon Ghost and the lifestyle that he created for them. She had no independency, so she had to find a way out. So initially, Sean was the way out. Not that she was in love with Sean. Sean just happened to be the nigga that was right there and was enough of a sucker to be able to risk his life to take her out of that situation. She's using him. The same thing with Terry Silver, another sucker. You go from a gangster, a killer, a dope dealer, a boss nigga, a rich nigga, to the help. Why? To these suckers? And y'all are dumb enough to believe that she's in love with these niggas, these squares? Yeah, right. She loves street niggas. She loves hood shit. She didn't even want him to stop selling dope. These niggas are means to an end for our sister Tasha, who's losing her goddamn mind. And if she don't stop, she don't get that weave blue clear off her goddamn head. Right? That's what it is. Right? So in understanding these things, you got to understand that Terry Silver was always a pawn on Tasha's chessboard. Right? So people are like, but we saw Ghost kill Terry. No, you didn't see Ghost kill Terry. You definitely see Ghost run up on Terry. You even see Ghost choke Terry. Okay? But go watch MMA. You can see a nigga get choked out. That don't mean the nigga died. I done seen plenty of people get choked out in an octagon. But did he die? No, he didn't die. So just because we seen Ghost choke him does not mean we seen Ghost kill him. And if you notice, Ghost has always adamantly denied any involvement in the homicide or the disappearance of Terry Silver. Now, if we go back and watch previous episodes, we see Tasha pressing Ghost. What happened to Terry? Where's Terry? Did you kill Terry? So how is she asking these questions, but she just so happens to know the exact location of the body of Terry Silver? Not just, oh, it's in an abandoned parking structure in LaGuardia. It's in an abandoned parking structure in LaGuardia on the 5th floor in a particular car, make and model's trunk. She knew the precise location of the cadaver of Terry Silver, yet asked Ghost as if she was oblivious to, or she still questioned whether or not he killed him. How can she do that? I'm going to tell you how. You've never seen Ghost put a body like that's not the known spot where Ghost and Tommy dump bodies is at the goddamn LaGuardia airport. We've never seen Ghost at the LaGuardia airport. I heard some people employ the argumentation, oh, that's where they met up. What do you mean that's where they met up? They didn't meet up there. They met up in at the apartment at Terry Silver's apartments. That's where she met him up at. That's not Terry Silver's car. You see what I'm saying? People are not paying enough attention to what's going on. And Tasha's plan is so good and so cold that nobody believes that she did this. Nobody believes that she did this. Nobody believes that her, the little dainty housewife turned babysitter, has the ability to kill, yet we just saw her blow her only friend that we've ever seen her have on the show's brains out. She's got it in her. She's a killer. She set up people to get killed. She set up people to go to jail. She's cutthroat. She's raised by the coldest killer that we've seen on this show, which is Ghost, her husband. He's the coldest, most methodical killer we've seen on this show. That nigga raised her. So to think that murder is outside of her repertoire, cover up, framing is outside of her repertoire. He couldn't have framed Kanan for that initial framing that Kanan went to jail for back in the day without her. So she's very much capable. Don't sleep on her for 1 second. She's very much capable of taking somebody down, of ending somebody's life. We just saw her blow La brains on the damn floor. Splat La shit. We just seen it. So yes, Tasha killed Terry Silver. Why would Tasha kill Terry Silver? Very simple. Terry Silver was a pawn on her chessboard. She needed to use Terry Silver for whatever she needed to use him for. People are going, she was in love. Again, she was in love. But remember that her and Angela, had to have a preliminary conversation that prompted her to even rekindle what she had going on with Terry Silver and put the pussy on him that day that he died. She set that up. She wasn't doing that because, oh, she wanted to see him or she was in love with him or she had feelings for him. That was a play. It was a play to control him and what he was getting ready to say to the feds. So she killed him to have a trump card against Ghost. That's why she killed him. Because Ghost has motive to kill him. Why does Ghost have motive to kill him? Because he was fucking his wife. So he has motive to kill him. So she meets him up. Boom, light bulb. Light bulb. I'm going to kill the nigga. I'm going to put him in the trunk. And then I'm going to use that to my advantage if Ghost ever flips. Again, why do you think when Tommy wants to kill Ghost or when somebody wants to do this and that, she's like, nah, just wait? Why do you think she was so confident? Nah, just wait. I don't know. Because she was waiting to see how their relationship would develop, what would happen, if they would end up at odds, and she knew that she had a trump card. She didn't need Tommy to kill him, or she didn't need X, Y, and Z to happen, because she had a trump card on the nigga. Nobody's going to believe she did it. Didn't she show up to his lawyer's office, or to an office where he practices law? Has anybody heard from Terry Silver? She's calling him. Oh, she played this shit perfect. She played it so perfect, and they wrote it so good that even the majority of people that's watching the show didn't peep game. And it's crazy because as much as I love this show and as much as I say this show is better than probably damn near every show because of how it emotionally gets you tied in, this show's writing has lacked in a lot of areas. But in this area, and with Tasha, they write Tasha perfect. They really write her perfect to where it plays so many people that some people I told was like, nah. But then some people that I brought this theory to, they were like, damn, I didn't even realize. You know what I'm saying? But clearly she killed Terry Silver. Clearly. It's a power move, a power play to have a trump card against Ghost. But I was talking to my brother Captain Tasha, and remember they go in the car, he found the phone, boom, and he gives the phone to Dre or whatever. He believes that whoever's phone that is or whatever's on that phone is going to vindicate Ghost. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I personally I adhere to that theory as well. I believe that's true as well. But we'll see. So yeah, but also something that I peeped, which Tariq need to get his little dumb ass head blew off, or at least his ass beat. Really, Ghost should have beat his ass a long time ago. But the thing with Tariq is this. I finally realized something that we should have all, as viewers of power and understanding who's behind power, being 50 Cent, should have realized a long time ago. That Tariq and Tasha are based upon 50 Cent's relationship with his first baby mom and his oldest son. It's totally based upon that. And now, like, when Tariq looked at Ghost before he walked out of Truth, it hit me. Damn, this is based upon that. 50 became one of the richest niggas to ever touch a microphone. And you know, got his baby mom out of a certain position, got his son out of a certain position, and now his son is ungrateful. Now his son wants to kind of run around in the streets with street niggas. You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing. It's that's where he gets it from. And if you pay attention to 50 Cent and a lot of the shows or movies that he's a part of, he puts elements of his real life into it. Almost always. We see that, of course, Get Rich or Die Trying is, of course, obvious. You know, and a lot of people don't know that Kanan character, it may be based off of somebody in reality. I don't have knowledge of that, but the Kanan character actually is certainly tied to the War Angel mixtape that he did years ago. It's like the incarnate. It's like basically Kanan's the War Angel. Which if y'all are familiar with that project, if you're not familiar with that project, I suggest you go listen to it. It's probably like 6-7 songs. That's it. But it's good. It's one of my favorite bodies of work by 50 Cent for sure. And you can clearly, if you listen to it, you'll be able to, this is at least partially the inspiration of Kanan, or there's one particular real life individual that inspired both War Angel and Kanan. You know, it is what it is. But yeah, Tariq need his ass beat. I would have beat his ass all over Truth if I was his father. Like, just as a son, they got a pops, and as a father now with a son and another son on the way, I could not imagine myself talking to my father that way, or one of my sons talking to me that way. I'd beat the hell out. I'm talking about, I would have got my ass whipped. I'm talking about like a grown man, and they would definitely get their ass whipped like a grown man. And Tariq needs to get his ass whipped like a grown man, because he needs to understand what he has going on in his head is not reality. He's having delusions of grandeur, and if he doesn't hurry up and get in touch with reality, his little dumb ass gonna end up dead. His pops really should have been checked that shit, been beat his ass, been took that little nigga jaw a long time ago, and maybe we wouldn't be here now. What Ghost need to do is pick that little dumbass boy up, drop his ass off in the heart of the Bronx somewhere with a pack, and say, listen, nigga, all right, you a hustler, you do it, go ahead, make your money, nigga. On a block where he knows is cracking, on a block where he knows other niggas is selling dope, and let's see how good he survives and how good he thrives in that environment. Bet that little boy get his ass whooped. Bet. That little shit he did with Kanan where the niggas took his damn, or got over on him, and then whatchamacallit, they got over on him, and then what happened? Remember, he hopped out on niggas with pistol and just got it. That was bullshit. I'm talking about for real, in the trenches, serving. If he's such a gangster and he's such a dope dealer and he's this and he's that, go ahead, little nigga. Go get him. That's what Ghost really needs to do. He needs to step up and be a father and that. Stop saying, I'm your father, I gave you. We get it. All that's happened. That little nigga need to see action. He needs to see action. He needs to be put in them trenches. And he needs his ass whooped. That little gun in the mouth, that was cool though. Don't get me twisted. That was cool and that was a good wake up call for him. But that ain't enough, my nigga. You need to go harder if you really want to save that little boy. You really need to go harder. And you should have been going harder, to be honest. But I'm excited to see tonight's episode. The thing is this though. Here's the thing, right? You got whatchamacallit, it's the mid-season finale. So they've extended this season. Usually the Power season is only 8 to 10 episodes. They've extended this season to 15. The episode we saw last week was supposed to be the mid-season finale. But because they pushed us back a week because of this whole situation with Comcast, they're giving us one more episode before the mid-season finale, which is tonight. I don't know how long they're breaking for. I know a lot of times, especially when they break, when series, like when I was watching Scandal and they broke in November, they didn't come back to like the end of January. Also, I watched the show Lucha Underground on El Rey, and they broke for like 4 to 6 months, I think. So it's crazy because when they do this mid-season break, we don't never know how long it's going to take. And us, if you're a real Power fan, an avid Power watcher, you're like a crackhead. You need that hit. A heroin addict, you need that hit. So you're going to be fiending, but it's not like you're going to stop watching. Soon as the block is back open, soon as the dope spot's back open, you're going to be right back in there copping because you know ain't no one got the dope quite like that. Ain't nobody really got that package out. So I don't know. I hope they don't break for too long. I hope like it's maybe a couple weeks or after Thanksgiving or something, maybe December. Like I really hope they don't break for too long because I'm gonna need methadone clinic. Majority of it's probably gonna start back at episode 1, season 1, and just watch it all the way back up and hope by the time we back up to the current episode that they already back. We'll see. Consolation is they got Watchmen just came out on HBO, which I just watched the first 2 episodes of that last night, which is hella weird, but it's hella interesting. I like it. You got Regina Hall. Is that Hall? I can always forget which one is which last name. I don't confuse the 2 women. I always forget which one is which last name. But the Watchmen is crazy. It's all based upon Black Wall Street and the attack that occurred there. But it's weird because I'm watching like, okay, the Watchmen, we know that movie that came out. It's like a superhero movie. This is like, I'm trying to figure out if this is related in title or if it's a continuation, if it's an alternate universe. I'm not sure. I mean, it's clearly an alternate universe because it's squids raining and police can't even have a pistol and it's weird stuff going on. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure this show out. If you start watching it, you probably going to get hooked, but you're probably going to be like, what the hell is going on? This is weird. I don't even know what day it comes on, so I got to look at that. But I've been watching it on HBO now, by the grace of God, man. And I'm gonna keep watching. Ballers, I'm behind on, so I got to catch up on Ballers, which is also on HBO now. Is there another show I'm watching right now outside of wrestling? I don't know. I don't even know, man. But yeah, so outside of that, man, I was supposed to be in Philly this weekend, or Thursday. I was supposed to be in Philly, really Wednesday night. Some things happened this week, and I had to reevaluate some things and move some things around, so I was not able to make the trip. Now, the purpose of the Philly trip was for the express purpose of confronting the Thriving Frequency Conference that is being put on by the quote-unquote woke church, spearheaded by Pastor Eric Mason, Vocab Malone, etc. If you're familiar with the Hebrew Israelites, you understand that for the last couple years, there's been a lot going on between Vocab Malone and the Israelite community. We were technically the first camp to reach out to Vocab Malone for a dialogue. I want to say he actually did a radio show with GOCC before he ever sat down with us, but he sat down with us And then I went on his podcast, and we did kind of like an hour-long debate on his podcast, which he has currently on his YouTube channel, which he titled "The Most Respectful Debate Ever." I want that to be on the record. So, you know, he's been going around the country since then, running up on Hebrew Israelite camps. As early as last week, he ran up on Great Millstone's Houston branch. Before that, ISUPK's Houston branch, etc. So, you know, and when I first moved to Atlanta back in April, I saw Vocab Malone in Walmart, and we didn't even debate. We just talked. We probably talked, you know, talk shop for like 30 minutes to 45 minutes, even maybe even an hour for real. You feel me? We was just in there chopping it up. No big deal. Nothing hostile. So I figured that if we would have showed up at the conference, that he definitely would have came out and hollered at us. I mean, he's going around confronting Hebrew Israelites all over, and plus I already have a predetermined, respectful, and friendly dialogues with him, right? I wasn't able to make it, but Officer Assad, Officer Ayash Hawad of our San Francisco camp, and our brothers in Philly, our soldiers in Philly, as well as soldiers came from Atlanta, from Ohio, and from New Jersey. So they all out there. Vocab Malone and Eric Mason. The conference over now. They didn't come outside. So look for more on that soon. The video footage from outside, the camps that were held out there, testimony from the brothers that were there, etc. Look for all of that to come very soon. But I just wanted to kind of touch on that briefly. Also, we're kind of going to be restructuring things in the coming week. If you're on our YouTube channel, our YouTube channels, plural, we're restructuring things. So as of right now, we're usually doing like shorter videos Monday and Tuesday on Sakari Water and Sakari Public Enemies, and then we're doing premiere videos on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, both on Sakari Public Enemies and Sakari Water. Live classes Monday and Tuesday, and then Situation Room Wednesday. We're going to be restructuring things a little bit, so those shorter videos are going to still be dropping on Sakari Water and Public Enemies, but they're going to be dropping on Sunday and Monday as opposed to Monday and Tuesday. We're still going to do the Monday live class, but the Tuesday live class we're moving to Friday. So if y'all remember, the first live classes that we did for years as a camp was always on Friday. They got moved back to Tuesday. Now I'm pushing them back to Friday. So we'll do our live classes Monday and Friday, both on Sakari Water. On Wednesday, we still have Situation Room on Sakari Public Enemies. And then our premiere videos, which we'll call Power Hour. We're now rebranding them to our Power Hour videos. And I'm actually rendering the new intros for those on Adobe After Effects now as we speak. So y'all might hear the little sound to indicate that rendering is done over the course of this recording. I anticipate, because it says it only got a minute left of rendering. The Power Hour videos, which will be premiere videos, that'll typically be at least over 30 minutes, preferably closer to 45 minutes to an hour or longer. Those videos will be airing Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Tuesdays will be on Sakari Water, and Thursdays and Saturdays, see, there it went, right there. Tuesdays will be on Sakari Water, and Thursdays and Saturdays will be on Sakari Public Enemies. That'll all be at 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific. You know, I mean, there may be times where maybe it'll start earlier or later due to whatever, but for the most part, it's going to be steadily there. That's how we're kind of restructuring things. And also here in Atlanta, if you're in the Atlanta area, y'all know we do Thursday night camp around 8:30 at CNN, and then we do Saturday afternoon camp around 4 at CNN. But we're getting ready to open up, most high will, in the coming week, a Friday camp as well, Friday afternoon, probably about 4, on Peachtree. Peachtree, I want to say probably a block down from where the Hard Rock Cafe and the Hooters is. Probably like a block down. There's a video that we got. We're teaching in front of a SunTrust Bank on Peachtree, if y'all are familiar. Not at that SunTrust Bank, but on the same block, just a little up. If y'all seen the video that we debated the Muslim dude, it says like Israelites debate Muslim in the streets of Atlanta. If y'all look at that video, that spot, the whole reason we went there was to scout it out. and test it out for a viable camp spot. So we're gonna, Most High will be opening up that camp this upcoming Friday, right there in Atlanta, Friday afternoons. And then try to start the live class probably around 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. So just y'all look out for that, man. And I'm just excited, and I give all praise to how Hashem Yahushua. This work is amazing, and it's what I've dedicated my life to. So yeah, but in closing of this podcast, or not meaning where I'm closing this instant, but the last thing rather I like to discuss is the controversy surrounding this movie, Harriet, the Harriet Tubman movie. Okay, so there's a few issues. You have the ADOS movement, right? I've been critical of the ADOS movement in certain instances. And I'm going to remain critical of them in certain instances. In that instance is xenophobia. Xenophobia is the alienation or, negative rhetoric, negative Donald Trump-esque rhetoric against black people who are not from the continental United States of America, i.e. people who are Haitian immigrants or of Haitian roots, or any of the Caribbean islands or West Africa or Central or South America, Latinos, things of that nature. I'm against that adamantly, but I understand that all people who identify under this ADOS banner, either who understand it and identify with it, or fall under the ADOS banner without acknowledging it, which is just African Americans, or who we as Israelites would identify as the tribe of Judah. What the hell is my point? Everybody doesn't espouse that those sentiments towards brothers like myself that's from the islands, or West Africa, Central, South America. Everyone don't espouse that, right? But there is rhetoric there, and Tyler Kweli did an interview with Vlad TV recently where I think he very eloquently attacked certain of the flaws with ADOS, especially in their ideals and their sentiments towards brothers like myself or himself who are of Haitian descent. Though we are American citizens and we were born here in America, we are the product of immigrants. So yeah, I'm always going to be against that though, and that's got to be corrected. But I don't undermine the fact that the ADOS, or the African American, or the tribe of Judah as we call them, have the same way the Haitian has a unique struggle. The African American has a unique struggle, and has an experience that is unique to him, right? Or her, the same way we do. We all have, as black people on this side of the earth, in the hills of North, Central, and South America, and Hispanics, have collective things that we all have gone through at the hands of the same people, at the hands of predominantly Western Europeans. We've all gone through oppression and hell in general by the same group of people from Canada to Argentina. All right. But culturally and geographically, there are aspects that make each and every one of our particular struggles unique, right? That's where the 12 tribes chart comes in. People could say they don't believe in it or it's silly or whatever, even though we could definitely very reasonably prove it historically and biblically. The thing is this: if you take a look at it, what we're showing is, yes, we all collectively have gone through something at the hands of these same people, but there's this tribal identity that kind of sections us off into different tribes and experiences. To say that the African American, and then the Dutch and Commonwealth Caribbean, or the West Indian, and then the Haitian are three different tribes. So we all have gone through something, and we all are of the kingdom of Judah, meaning we're all called black, but we all have unique tribal and cultural identities and a unique experience. So it unifies us and brings us together, but it still gives us individual unique identities. That's why that 12 tribe chart is so powerful. But so on African American, he certainly has a unique experience and unique struggles. And even though I'm a product of Haitian immigrants and I identify with that, I grew up my whole life around who you would call ADOS people, and quote unquote ADOS neighborhoods, and adults is my best friends, and things of that. Like, not just my best friends, all my friends. You know what I'm saying? I didn't grow up immersed in Haitian culture. A bunch of Haitians around me. I grew up around African Americans, vastly predominantly, right? So I understand it. I identify with it. I understand it, but I also do understand that in the consideration for reparations, that me and my people got to go to France about that, because France is the one that did those atrocities to us and enslaved us and made a killing, made themselves the richest empire on the earth during a certain time period, predicated upon the amount of sugar and coffee that we produce for them devils. I understand that fully and totally. Ain't got no problem with that. My brothers in America, y'all got to go to the United States and ask them for reparations. I'm with that. I support that 100%. Do I think it's going to happen? No. But if that's what y'all on, I support it. Whatever you want me to do, you want me to go. Listen, I don't even vote. I ain't never voted. Right? I'm a felon. In some states, I can't even vote. But if I could go to the poll and that would make y'all feel better, I'm not gonna vote for nobody to be no damn president, definitely. But if it's y'all want me to go vote for reparations, no problem. I got you. If that's what you need me to do, I don't even got a problem with it. Right? I say all that to say, with this resurgence of an especially unique pride in being African American, in particular, African American, Black American, a black person whose ancestors were slaves in what we know today as the continental United States. With that resurgence now, when we see a West African, a Nigerian, who was born in Britain, playing Harriet Tubman, a lot of people had an issue with that. Do I also take issue, or do I see why somebody would take issue? Yes. As a Haitian, if they were putting out a Haitian movie, a movie about Toussaint Louverture or something like that, I would much rather prefer a Haitian play him. I would much rather prefer that. Would it be the end of the world if an American brother played him? No. But I would much rather that a Haitian brother played him. Now here's the thing. They've definitely had a lot of African Americans and a lot of Africans play Haitians in movies and on TV. I'm not a big fan. I was never a big fan of it. But because the roles weren't too prominent, it wasn't no big deal. Like if you watch Crank, the Haitian cab driver, that dude's African. And he does a Haitian accent really bad. If you watch Bad Boys 2, Blondie Dread, that dude is also he's an American brother. He do all right though. We don't get mad about that. And I want to say there's another instance, but we got Haitian actors that could play Haitian parts, especially prominent Haitian parts, right? Just the same way we got African, and there's plenty of sisters that you could have had play Harriet Tubman. It's a lot of sisters you could have had play Harriet Tubman. Able sisters from America who are descendants of the same thing that Harriet Tubman was going through. So you certainly could have had an American sister. Even though that sister who plays Harriet, I think she's beautiful, because I went and watched Bad Times at the El Royale last year. I was really interested to see that movie and was really kind of disappointed by it. But one thing I wasn't disappointed was when I seen that sister walk into the goddamn hotel, I said, damn, she fine as hell. So, but I remember that prompted me to research, and I realized that she was a British Nigerian sister, which I was like, damn, she played it an American well. But I think a role that's this important should have definitely been played by an American sister. Definitely. I mean, there's the laundry list of sisters that could have depicted Harriet Tubman is long. Plenty of very able, very accomplished African American female actresses that could have did this without question. Somebody who rings in my mind exponentially is Tiana Paris, who I think is one of the most able, if not the most able actress in this country right now, in the world actually. But there's also a score and a laundry list of other sisters who certainly could have did they stuff. So I understand that for starters. Then we have the villain in the movie is a fictional black slave catcher, and the hero in the movie is the white slave master. I mean, do I even have to spell out the issues with that? No, it's clear. So it's. I love Birth of a Nation so much because Birth of a Nation. I love Birth of a Nation so much because Birth of a Nation was perfect. I love Get Out so much because Get Out was everything Birth of a Nation couldn't be with the same similar message, right? I think we have to put Get Out and Birth of a Nation together because of that. Because Get Out had to have comedic relief and it had to be presented as a horror film in order to get the same or a similar point across that Birth of a Nation got out. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of pinned those together, but then the issue can be brought up where the lead of Get Out was an African. But I think in that instance it's neither here nor there because he's not depicting a historical figure. So yeah, Birth of a Nation and Get Out were the times where there was no white savior. There was no good white guy, and the bad guys were clear, but also sympathizers were also shown. I don't think they'll really put too much money behind any Hollywood film that does not have a good old white boy saving the day, even if he is the slave master who is secretly in love with Harriet. More of that good old interracial love that they're putting out on the earth. These things are so agenda based. We'll see how Harriet does in theater. I guarantee you Harriet trumps Birth of a Nation. Trumps Birth of a Nation in box office performance, which is disgusting. Quite frankly, quite truthfully. I hate that this has to keep going on. I absolutely loathe the idea that we gotta go see a movie where somehow Massa is the savior. I'm probably going. I mean, you know, we gonna be at camp here in the next couple hours, and I probably will definitely talk about that at camp. I might even use Harriet as my talking point. It's madness, you know. So even if you can get past the fact that we have a non-descendant of slaves brought to America depicting one of the biggest champion heroes in history of slaves brought to America, then you got a white Massa being the savior and a black man being the villainous sexual deviant villain. We have to understand what it's about. What it's about is the war, the propaganda war that the white man is putting to try to divide black man from black woman. And in doing, he wants to divide black man from black woman by continually depicting the black man as a monster and an animal, and depicting himself as who is the true monster and animal, as the savior, as the protector, as a provider. So it drives you away from the black man and more towards the white man. That's what's going on. It's all a battle for the greatest resource that we have as a people, which is our women. They want the black woman, who is the greatest resource on earth. That's what's going on here. So don't fall victim to the game. If you do decide, I'm not telling nobody to not go watch it or to watch it, but if you do decide to go watch it, don't let them play a game with your mind. If you watch any movie, don't let it play a game with your mind. Watch it to watch it, understand what you're looking at, why you're looking at it, why the game is being played. And then you'll be able to watch anything, because they won't be able to slip nothing past you if you're truly, quote unquote, woke. Anything else I want to talk about? I think there was something else I was thinking about. Oh, but also kind of just playing devil's advocate though in my head. I'm thinking about the controversy behind having a non-African American play Harriet, which I understand fully, but there's another hand to that, right? Like Tariq Nasheed was talking about adults and how Haitians and Jamaicans should stay out of the conversation, which I agree. But then, because he's like, it don't concern you. This is a money bag grab that don't concern you. I'm with you. But you sure as hell did go make a documentary about Haitians and go get a money bag off of our history and our struggle, etc. You sure went and got, and how many Haitians were a part of that, and how many Haitians got a bag off of that? Which I've talked about that a couple times, but it's a valid point. Also, did if y'all are not familiar with Latino culture, Mexicans and Puerto Ricans have a ginormous rivalry. You can see this in boxing, in just life in general. If you interact with the two groups, they really don't mess with each other like that. But a Puerto Rican played Selena, who is arguably one of the greatest Mexican pop culture icons of all time. Now, granted, you didn't have social media and Facebook and all that, but I'm really curious. I'm not saying that Mexicans weren't outraged by that. I'm just curious to see, especially the Mexicans who were contemporary at that time, who had a really anti-Puerto Rican mentality. Was y'all mad that a Puerto Rican played Selena? Were y'all like, man, it was 100 million Mexican actresses that could have depicted Selena? You know what I'm saying? That's a kind of a question that was on my mind. But definitely, again, as a Haitian, I definitely would take issue with a non-Haitian playing a very historically significant Haitian. I certainly would take issue to that. But yeah, so with that, I got to get ready for camp and do a few more things, man. But thanks for listening. This has been the ISSA GRLA podcast. Again, I give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh. I do so in the name of His only begotten Son, who the world calls Christ, Yahweh Shai. It's your brother, Chief Priest, Allah Baloya, aka the Guerrilla Hebrew, signing out. Shalom.